Hey everyone. So we started using heavy Zooks yesterday, finally not fizzling every single match. And now our next steps is going for that building hill. So between Sparky and artillery, well, artillery you can clear mines, but it costs GBE, you gotta aim it, whereas Sparky just pops her critters every few seconds. And it's gonna help out with this account with no instant training, so we'll get her right now. And of course we're one key short of building hill, but since either way next chest gets us this anyways, we'll just get that troop health now. And also the good thing about Sparky is she's pretty effective even at level 1, so we're not going to use any tokens on her. And otherwise, just max out our troop damage, got our troop health shock bombs, and try it a few hits. The sooner you can get that max troop health plus that 10% the better, because when you have 60 troop health with that Zuka boost, they can actually survive 2 mines. So a big difference that groups of 2 you almost don't gotta worry about. But we've seen a fair amount of this space. Sometimes Sparky's used with the main group just clearing mines, but other times you can use her on her own just letting her spawn her critters. It's also why we're taking her first ability, 10 critters a time is pretty good. And in this one, I like doing 1 heavy 1 zig on the left, same on the right side, and then just delay a few boats on the right side. On this one here, we can kind of do that except maybe a few more boats because of that one sniper, and just delay Sparky for the left side. So get 3 heavies out and then 3 Zooks. And the other 2 boats we're just going to delay on the right side, kind of when the sniper's about to go down, so they can go straight for that engine. So we'll wait just a few seconds, but I think now is a good time. And as far as the left goes, you can drop Sparky when that first building dies, just so she kind of stays towards the left side. So the right troops are going all the way up there, and everyone else is gonna kind of merge for this middle ER. So Sparky's doing a good job, hoping she's gonna stay left. And then we can start shocking the top side, want to worry about those cannons. And maybe we'll wait just a few seconds, but I think Sparky should go to that flame pretty soon. So what we're gonna do is do 2 critter abilities, and then shock that flame. And otherwise, once the right ER goes down, just a few seconds, we can just flare the last one. We'll go ahead and shock the micro, shock the other flame. And because of Sparky's critters, that left ER is already down. So at least on these kind of bases, you can see how strong Sparky is. See if a 257 is good, but on this one here, looks like it is. And the main thing with these heavy Zook hits is, other than using Sparky's critters, just finding a good split. And sometimes you can do that by just delay dropping a few boats, or in other bases like this one, just doing a flare. In fact, on this base I like doing 4 hidden rifles instead, because they can deal with the right 2 ERs, and on the left just 2 heavies, 2 Zooks and Sparky. Because on the right you notice that this engine's pretty exposed, and not too many buildings on the top one. So we'll start with 4 rifles right there. And with our level 3 flare, already throwing 1 of these guys. And when they're around that vent, doing 1 more flare on the back end. And even right after that flare, you can drop these other guys. Because of 11 seconds or so for that flare, once it expires, they're kind of right there with those buildings. We'll just do 1 shock there and a nice split with your rifles. Otherwise, let these guys go. And as soon as the top ERs go down, we just flare the last 2. So watching the top side in just a bit. Maybe flare in a few seconds. And Sparky doesn't do much in these hits. Like we'll do 1 critter swarm because why not? Maybe distracting buildings as we flare. Plenty of GB to deal with those buildings. Let's get 1 more shield. And maybe a critter for some distraction, but on that base, getting a 256. And here we got another match. It's kind of like the base we're running, which is really the 3rd main style that we've seen on 4 ERs. These ones are like still doing a split drop, 2 heavies, 2 Zooks on the left, 2 heavies, 2 Zooks on the right. And on this one, just doing a cool little flare once you deal with the first half of the base. Sparky can go on the left because usually you can spawn a few critters, get these buildings down faster. And let's try it out. So 2 heavies each side, followed by your Zooks. And you can do Sparky early too on the left side. Otherwise, it's just watching things go for the first half of the base. And sometimes there's mines or mortars, but don't really gotta worry about it. But if you do, you can use a shield anytime. So maybe even after a few seconds, just do 1 shield. But just trying not to use too much GB. And usually waiting for not only this left side, but some buildings on the right side. So we'll do a flare as soon as that flame dies, waiting a few more seconds. And after that, just flaring 1 building on that side. So popping your critters a few times, and even doing 1 more shock for the other flame. Because what happens is, whether or not the flare expires, the cannon's gonna die, and these Zooks can just stay on this side. Start shocking that micro again, these Zooks should stay left. As soon as the right engine goes down, you go ahead and flare this one. So still want to aim for those 250 times, but we'll see if it's okay. Kinda surprising that these 4 ER hits are this fast, but I guess it means Zookas are pretty strong. It looks like not fast enough, he had a crazy 3-minute time. Looks like just all heavies. And that's the one downside of not having building health, people can just use art to take an engine out. So one of the reasons we really want building health next, but we'll keep on trying hits. And here we got 4 ER that's full on compact, which kinda looks nasty, but in most cases it isn't. Because you can just go from one side and heavies, or in this case we'll probably use rifles instead, and just deal with everything. And the reason we're going to use rifles is because, well, you have a lot more of them, and you can kind of stagger them on a full-on compact. Especially dealing with all those mines, but I guess we have Sparky too. Either way, doing your 4 Zooks, get 1 rifle, get Sparky, and as the rifles get there, just keep on doing more ones. Might have to do some flares on the right side, in case they want to go left. Get the other rifle going. But most are going there, so I think it's fine. We'll get our last rifle pretty soon. And now just start shocking the splash. The good thing is, because we staggered rifles, if they're all there at the same time, they're gonna get hit. Whereas if you stagger them, there's always gonna be some meat shield as you get there. We'll do some critters to clear some more mines. And then maybe even a shield right now. Not trying to use too much GB, because we might want to flare the last few engines. So 1 more shock for all that stuff. And then maybe just 1 final critter. I think once that flame dies, just start flaring. Get 1 shock on this good stuff. And as this engine goes down, just flare the last one. So even though it looks nasty, still around those 250 times. And already 2 days in the season, we're almost at a maxed out 4 ER. So it's a really cheap tree. And I think if you can't even make too much progress right now, there's still 3 weeks to finish it up. This base is a little different, but maybe we can do a hit where we flare some troops on this side, and I think the rest over here. Almost like the one where we do the 2 heavies, 2 Zooks on the right and the left. This one's just a little bit different where you need those 2 ERs to go down. Which in that case, maybe you can send Sparky up there, because you can pop her critter ability, throw some shocks, and then flare these guys sooner. So I think we'll go ahead and try that. First with 2 heavies, 2 Zooks, and Sparky. Luckily the heavies are faster, so don't gotta worry about those mines too much. But maybe still 1 shield just to be safe. Then looking again, I think there should be enough heavies right there. We'll do 1 more flare. And at least I hope Sparky stays up top. Otherwise, get these guys going. So see where Sparky's gonna go. And she's finally being good and going on the top. Either way, we have to wait for these bottom ERs, so just letting everything go a bit. And seeing where she goes after that flame. Not really the right place, but can maybe make it work. Like one thing we practice is doing flares to shift everyone. But at least in this one case, it should be fine because, well, you have those Zooks almost getting that ER. And as soon as this bottom one goes down, just sending that final flare. So we'll get one flare going in just a few seconds, maybe right now. And now that we saved so much GBE, we have plenty for shields and shocks. So throwing a bunch of these guys, one more flare. And not a super fast time, only getting like 240. But sometimes we get lucky. Maybe on that base we could have done Sparky on the far left side on our own. Overload, same guy as yesterday. And 2 seconds, but another win. So poor guy, we're just bullying him. But that's going to be 17, so getting that chest. And either way, tomorrow we're going to get maxed out building health. I think right now just level 3. And the only other unlock at 4 ER is going to be mines. With so many using rifle, steel, or zooks, those mines should help out. And we're not going to pick up art because Sparky does a good job with mines. Anything else is just either too minor or we don't need it. So after mines, next steps is 5 ER. And because we got so much defense, we're gonna go this long way around to boom cannons, and maybe never even pick up choppas. We'll see how we do with boom cannons, and if Zookas are still working, keep on using them. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.